Hey everybody, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. I am here to do the potion teaching for our newest custom potion. And you guys guessed it, you're in my bedroom. Let me adjust that a little bit. Hello. Hi everybody. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, I actually have on my worthy shirt from my friend's clothing line, Self Ascend. I also am under a blanket because I'm wearing this shirt as a dress and my thighs all out and y'all ain't pay for all that. So anyway, I am teaching our newest custom potion. It is called Worthy. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I used to do these teachings over at Crystal the Oracle _shop. And there is an IGTV for literally every potion that is in our custom potion library. So you can check those out whenever you would like to. Ground down, y'all. The resistance to this teaching. That's why I was like, I know I don't have enough time, but I'm not putting it off anymore. It would always be a something would come up or something would steal away the time that I had or the moment that I had to channel or the energy that I had to channel. There wasn't any resistance to creating the oil. There's no resistance to wearing this delicious oil, but to doing this teaching, to get in front of you guys and talk about the elements and the energetic support, there was always something that got in the way, which it all is magic. All of it is a message. Everything is energy and everything is communicating with us, which let me know that we are having a real disconnect from our inherent worthiness, right? The kind of worthiness that you don't have to strive for or prove for or work for. There's always something, just like with this teaching, getting in the way of you settling into it, right? So we are going to bust through some of that, I hope, with this potion. So many of the people I love with my whole heart are here. I feel like I've already been with some of you guys today because you're in my energetic work this morning, and in the energetic work that I did, I feel like I have spent some time, especially Jana and Jess, Tierra. So if you're not in my energy work, send me a DM and I'll talk to you about how you can get in my energy work because it's really good. They're having a little bit of easier time at life because they've been in my energy work than the people who don't. So that's really cool. Anyway, inherent worthiness. Like I said, I'm wearing my worthy shirt from my friend's clothing line, Self Ascend. It is the Pride edition, the worthy Pride edition, and I am loving this shirt. It is so cute. I'm going to cover it with my jacket because when I teach, I try to cover my armpits because your armpits are a real energetic gateway to your heart chakra, and your armpits are an energetic gateway to your entire lymphatic system. And so free game, if you're ever in front of a crowd or something like that, and you just, especially if you're doing energy work, and especially if you hold space for petitions the way that I do, it's really serious work, and I have a big smile on my face, but I know that everybody don't smile for me. So I protect myself in all the ways that I can, and one of those ways is by covering your armpits. That's just a little energetic freebie for anybody who does petition work. I don't usually talk about that kind of stuff here. I usually talk about that kind of stuff, in Oracle U and in my group where we get into the nitty gritty of moving energy. But anyway, you guys get one for free. All right, I shouldn't be rambling. I should be getting to it. Here we go. Worthy potion. When I first got this petition, I was like, whoosh, wow. It hit me hard, yes. And one of the things you can get on my website is a custom potion, but we've got so many potions now that I have been refunding customs, right? You go on my website, you put a custom potion in, you put in the petition, and I say, oh, well, we have direction oil, or we have value for value, or we have reciprocity oil for that. I give them the refund and I point them to the correct oil. But then this petition came through and it was really about seeing themselves as worthy, and it hit me right? Because we have this large potion library that absolutely energetically unlocks things in people. Like, my potions are the real deal. And yet, feeling worthy of taking the next step, feeling worthy of the insight that comes to you, feeling worthy of the things that you call into your life in a way that allows you to keep them, is really the gateway to taking the energetic support that things like potions and crystals and candles offer and allowing it to settle into something that is in your physical reality. It is how worthy you feel of the thing that you are manifesting that allows you to hold it in your hands, right? And so this potion just feels so correct and just like so on time. Okay. Anyway, this one felt super necessary and I immediately had to do it. The elements in this one, we've got baby's breath and black eyed peas. Oh, there they are in there. They look so good. Baby's breath, black eyed peas, pre-night, and a safety pin. It's not going to let me show it to you, but it's in there. And a safety pin. I've talked about these potions. What happens is Source just tells me what the elements are, and then I sit down and I channel, and it just makes it all make such delicious, beautiful sense. So let's talk about these elements. The first one being baby's breath. Baby's breath being all about self-worth, feeling worthy. Feeling worthy doesn't happen until you can be gentle with yourself. Right? Feeling worthy doesn't happen until you can be gentle enough to distinguish your personal standards, what you want for you, right? From what society wants from you, what your mama told you you were supposed to have, right? A lot of our struggle with worthiness is because we're measuring ourselves by standards that aren't even ours, right? It is hard to feel worthy when you are striving for things that are not even yours to want. It's hard to feel worthy when you can't keep promises to yourself, but those promises are built on unrealistic standards that are not even energies that you were supposed to be operating in. Right? It's hard to feel worthy and to walk in your worthiness if you're striving to be worthy by a standard that is not even your own, that is not even a standard that is supposed to be occupied by the human nervous system, right? That's why all of us are feeling like imposters and unworthy and like we're not enough, right? Because we are not being gentle with ourselves. We are measuring ourselves by a measuring stick that was created by structures and systems and people who don't love us, who don't care for us, who aren't gentle with us, right? Baby's breath, worthy. Part of feeling worthy is being able to be gentle enough with yourself to decide what standards are yours and what standards you should be deconstructing alongside the collective, right? Baby's breath. Baby's breath also metaphysically means innocence. Innocence. Who told you what to be before you could decide for yourself? Who told you what you felt called to, what you loved, the thing that lit you up when you were little bitty? We're talking about inner child stuff. Who tamped that down? Who blew out that candle, right? Baby's breath, the restoration of innocence, the restoration of living as who you were before they told you who to be, right? Worthiness. Whew, so good. Can you lean? It says, who were you before you were taught to be something else for approval? Can you lean into the quiet power of that? Who were you before you were taught to be something else for external approval? Can you lean into the quiet power of that? That is the element of baby's breath. Next is the black-eyed pea. And honestly, I was a little stunned because it felt so random and it felt so regional, right? Now, I'm a Southern girl. I come from Georgia, and in the South, we eat black-eyed peas at New Year's Eve. And I know that in the South and in Charleston and in all of the places that, you know, a lot of my magical heritage come from, black-eyed peas is huge. And I was just like, Source, you want me to put it in? That feels very regional. It feels very personal. But when you get into the black-eyed pea, it does symbolize luck. Like I said, in the South, we eat them on New Year's Day along with something green for luck for the year ahead. But more than that, the black-eyed pea carries the energy of the planet Mercury, right? Mercury being the planet of communication, right? Mercury being the planet of how you think. Black-eyed peas are known to open your channel and reconnect you to how you are viewed and seen by Source, right? Open your channel and reconnect you to how you are viewed and seen by Source. Worthiness. They also represent the eye of protection. You've seen that, or sometimes it's called the evil eye. You've seen like the blue with the white ring and the black, right? Black-eyed peas also are representative, a natural representation of the eye of protection, okay? Helping you cut off energies that make it hard to see your worth. Worthiness, worthy potion. Next was a safety pin. We've got a little miniature black safety pin that is in this potion. Safety pin being another protective element, right? Safety pins are huge with petitions or spell work for things to be held together and binded. Safety pins are for binding. And that's the thing about worth, right? And the acceptance of your worth. Just because you were born worthy, which we all were, which we all are born worthy, inherently worthy because of the breath that we breathe, because we are Source energy carved out of itself. We are worthy. But just because you are worthy doesn't mean you always feel worthy, right? And we're so used to taking our inspired actions based on our feelings, right? So when we don't feel worthy, we don't take the inspired actions that a worthy person would take, even though we're inherently worthy. And so what the safety pin in this potion does is it comes to help bind your actions to the inherent worthiness you have and bypass however you're feeling about it. It's like that Rihanna audio, right? She's like, what is it? What do you do when you don't feel worthy or you don't feel like you're all that? She's like, I just pretend, right? What other choice do I have? I just pretend. Because there are some facts here. The facts are that when Source made you, Source did not move out of the way. Source carved you out of itself. And so because you are pure Source energy, and because of the law of divine oneness, you are one energy with all of the rest of us. There is not they're worthy and I am not. You are inherently worthy. But because of all of the things that happen in our lives, the trauma, the experiences that we have, the disappointments, the chakra wounds, all of those things, we may not always feel worthy. But I'm here to tell you that even if you do not feel worthy, you can take the inspired actions of a person who is worthy, right? Because you are. And that safety pin helps bind your actions to your inherent worth and bypass however you're feeling until you feel it, right? Motivation doesn't lead action. Motivation follows action. If an object in motion stays in motion, an object at rest stays in rest. These are energetic principles. We are energetic beings. This is physics. So we take this safety pin and we bind our actions with our worthiness. You take that one inspired action and it will lead you to the next and the next until you see yourself taking actions that make you feel worthy. We're building this thing. Worthy potion. So good. Okay. It says in those times You can move like someone who is worthy because you are. Because you are. Let's talk about the crystal elements. We've got clear quartz in here. Clear quartz being the master healer. Clear quartz being the stone of amplification and clarity. And it's in all of the potions except for snake oil. Snake oil does not give you any buffer, right? And then we've got prehnite in here, one of my favorite stones. Prehnite being the stone that heals the healer. Prehnite being a heart chakra stone, right? That supports your healing as you toss off expectations and just let yourself be yourself. Worthiness. Worthiness comes from allowing yourself to be yourself. Be yourself. No one is better at being you than you. No one is more worthy to occupy the space that is you than you, right? And when you start judging yourself against spaces that you're not supposed to occupy, the worthiness just floods in. It really just floods in. One thing Source has been driving home for me lately is that life isn't about loving yourself. Life isn't about healing yourself. Life is about being yourself. Stepping away and life. Like this is the thing I keep hearing. Life isn't about loving yourself. We keep striving to love ourselves. We keep striving to heal ourselves. Life is not about loving yourself or healing yourself. Life is about being yourself. Being yourself. Stepping away from this perpetual self-observation and being in your body and allowing it the experiences it came for, right? That is what life is about. Whew, okay, worthy. Life is not about becoming a neutral observer, but about not spending so much time in self-observation. So good, so good. I am feeling you guys. I'm feeling you guys. We're worthy. Okay, next are the fragrance elements. The fragrance elements. So good. This one, oh, this potion. Oh, potion on my third eye. Okay. First, fragrance elements. First, bay rum. I say this. Potions are not perfumes. Potions are not perfumes. Potions are not perfumes. Potions are not perfumes. I am slathered in this stuff. It smells so good. It smells so good. I am slathered in this one, and I'm telling you, this is not one that you have to use sparingly, like ready oil or snake oil, right? The ones that we have to tiptoe into. This one you can just cover yourself in worthy oil. It's so, so good. You can put it on everything. People ask me, how do you use potions? I dilute them in my body wash. I put them in spray bottles. I spray my hair. I spray my linens. I put them in water. I wipe down my doorknobs. I wipe down my door frames, right? This is how you use potions. You put them in the water. You mop your floor with your potions, right? You call in the intention of the potions all over your house and of course all over your physical body. Put your potion in your lotion and rub it on, right? These are all ways that we use potions. Bay rum is a huge energetic support in personal transformation, especially around self-image and of course worthiness, right? Huge in personal transformation. And like my people who are really in the craft and who are really, putting them together and calling things in, like they know how powerful especially these fragrance elements are. So I'm really excited about this one. So bay rum, huge energetic support in personal transformation, used to call in protection, victory, strength, success, wisdom, enhancing your spiritual gifts and clarity of thought. Bay rum. There are a lot of cultures that use bay rum as the potion all of itself. It's not an element, it's just the bay rum because it is so energetically powerful in personal transformation, right? So, so good. You feel more worthy because you're walking in your worthiness at a new level, right? Crystal, I don't feel worthy. How do I feel more worthy? Start doing the stuff you would do if you felt worthy. Watch yourself doing them and then feel worthy. It's always going to come back to that inspired action, right? And little by little, using potions, using your tools to move whatever has you stuck out of the way so that you can walk into those inspired actions. So, so good. Okay, the next element is lotus blossom. Lotus blossom. Everybody knows how powerful energetic support of the lotus is. Lotus associated with the crown chakra. We know lotus being that petal that floats above our head, that is associated with that seventh chakra, the crown chakra. And connection to source, your inherent connection to source. We don't talk about this enough when we talk about the chakras, but we always see the chakras in a straight line, depicted in a straight line. They are not a straight line. It is a cyclical movement of energy. When you heal your crown, when you connect to your crown, you heal your root. Right? Most of our root chakra wounds are actually crown chakra wounds because we don't believe that source is here for us to help us call in safety, security, the things that we want in our lives. We've been so disappointed by our reality and our root that we're disconnected from our crown, right? And the lotus comes in to reconnect you, again, another element, to reconnect you to how source feels about you. Lotus also being a flower that grows out the mud, that gets it out the mud, right? The lotus being the flower that grows in that swampy place, right? Letting us know it represents the transcendence and lets us understand that our view of our current circumstances or our past circumstances, however muddy, does not have to affect our view of our worthiness, right? Right? Does not have to affect our view of our personal usefulness. The lotus. It smells so good too, y'all. It smells so good. Worthy potion. Finally, basil. Basil brings in the energy of both attraction and repulsion. You get to decide. Basil, and if you have your own spell work that you do, your own petitions, you know how powerful basil is. Basil calls in the energy of both attraction and repulsion. Attracting the things that add to your life and repelling the things that don't. I'm going to tell you a story about basil. In medieval times, people thought basil was toxic. In the medieval times, they thought basil was toxic because they knew that a plant called rue was the antidote to a lot of toxins, and basil and rue did not grow together. So they just mistakenly assumed that basil, with all of its beautiful medicinal properties, was toxic just because it didn't grow the same way or alongside this plant that they thought they knew something about. Right? And what that says to me is that basil was misunderstood and it was thought to be toxic. And basil offers energetic support for those of us who need to be reminded of our worthiness because we were misunderstood and misjudged and mislabeled, right? Because people didn't know anything about us, but it was just that we weren't whatever they thought we should be compared to that sibling or that girl at church or that person over there, or why can't you be more like this or that? And they thought you were toxic and they threw you away, and they didn't realize your inherent worth and your medicinal properties and what you were bringing to the table in terms of healing just because of who you refuse to grow alongside. Basil offers the support for those of us in erasing some of that chatter that is still existing in our head from those experiences and reconnecting us to our own healing and our own inherent worthiness and our own medicinal properties, if you will. Basil, woo. For those of us who have felt misunderstood, misjudged, and compared, is what it says. And let's talk about the energy of basil, shall we? Real quick, and then we wrap up. Basil is huge for calling in the energy of money, abundance, courage, strength, and travel. Right? So if you were misjudged, misunderstood, and maybe you're healing, you have to reconnect and you have to reestablish yourself and your view of yourself in your healing properties. Also call in the energy of abundance and of courage and of strength and of money and of travel, because that is the energy of basil, and it is an element in this potion. Worthy potion. All right, so good. We have made it through this teaching. If you want a worthy potion, I don't make a listing for them until the person who originally requested the custom potion gets their potion and can let me know that they have seen the teaching and they feel really good about it. But you can go on crystaltheoracle.com, and in the potion section there is a listing for existing custom potion. You can purchase an existing custom potion and put worthy in the notes and get your own worthy oil. But it is, look at that. It is so good. This is my personal one, so it's not labeled yet, but you can see that safety pin so good in there. Connecting our inherent worthiness to our actions, regardless of if we feel worthy. But you should feel so worthy. Okay. I love you guys. Bye.